Obviously, really good coach, great players on that side of the ball. You know, their corners are very long, athletic guys, very tall. They make plays on the ball. So we're going to have to, you know, work our matchups and execute our plays well. I know that, you know, we say that over and over, but that's what it comes down to, is executing your plays, every play you can, and, you know, try to protect the ball, obviously, and move those chains and not let them tee off on third down or get opportunities to make plays on the ball.
That is Saints quarterback Spencer Rattler talking about the challenge of going up and playing in Seattle Lumen Field. One of the best home field advantages in the NFL, but interestingly enough, since Mike McDonald has been the head coach there, Seattle's just 3-7 at home. Now, a big part of that, obviously, is Seattle just hasn't been what they were during those glory years with Pete Carroll, and Lumen Field was Quest at the time. It was just going bonkers, but as we all know, the way that thing is constructed with the overhangs on each side and the sound trapping, it's just a very loud venue, a tough road place to play. But Spencer Rattler is still seeking his first win as an NFL starting quarterback, and this is a tough place to try to think that you're going to go get it on the road. But what was interesting about this is Drew Brees was a guest with Bobby Hebert on WWL earlier this week, and they had sort of the QB to QB segment. When Drew was the quarterback of the Saints, part of the Saints radio network, they had a weekly interview that Drew did on radio network affiliates, of which were one, and they called it QB to QB, and it was Bobby and Drew, and they would have a conversation, you know, about that week. And so they sort of revived that here with Bobby and Drew Brees. And it's interesting because, you know, we played a little soundbite from Drew Brees before the season started where he kind of gave this dramatically unrealistic opinion where he tried to stump for the Saints being able to win the division, which I don't think anybody who is objectively looking at this team thought that that's a realistic possibility. So I always, and listen, I respect it. I mean, Brees played for New Orleans. He bleeds black and gold. I love that about him, and he will always be Saints through and through, and it's amazing. I never want that to change ever. It does, though, call into question, like when you ask his opinion about something with the team, like, do you take it with a grain of salt? Like how much validity and credence can you give it if he's not going to give you an objective opinion? But this was a little different. I thought the way Drew Brees approached these comments about Spencer Rattler was pretty insightful. Here was Drew giving his assessment of Spencer Rattler through 2 games in Kellen Moore's system.
I like it a lot, and I think he's a great fit. Spencer is a really dynamic player. Like, stature-wise, he's a lot like me from the perspective of you're not the tallest guy, but you're athletic. You can move. Man, I love the way he throws the ball. He's made some plays running the football that have been really impressive over the last couple of weeks, you know, getting some key first downs, breaking tackles, some gutsy performances. You know, I know it hasn't resulted in wins, but we've been right there. I've loved to watch his development. I think he's a great fit for Kellen Moore's offense. It's fun to watch.
It was an interesting comp, size-wise, and, you know, Brees was a great athlete as well. I mean, I think the perception is that he was a pocket passer, which obviously he was one of the greatest ever and the most accurate passers ever, but Drew Brees also was a great athlete. I mean, everyone always tells the story about him with Andy Roddick playing tennis. He's also a scratch golfer. He can dunk a basketball. He had college baseball scholarship offers. So you're talking about a dude that was a great athlete in his own right, and there is a lot of comparison there. Now, Rattler is right at 6 foot, 211 pounds, so comparable size-wise to Drew Brees, and a really good athlete. So there is that in sort of how he fits within this offense. The other thing that Brees talked about was the inability so far of Spencer Rattler to get a win as the starting quarterback. I mean, it was 6 games a year ago that he started. They were 0-6. He's 0-2 now in the first 2 games this year, and they've been close, man. They've been close in these 2 games. They've had possessions late with an opportunity to go win. They haven't been able to do it. And this was Brees on them not being able to get that first win.
We all need to be patient with the process here. Here's a guy who was a mid-round pick last year as a rookie and was forced to come in and play, 4 or 5 games due to injury. And obviously things are different this year, and they're right there. I mean, literally right on the cusp. Even last year, a couple of games where they're just right there. They just had to find a way to break the seal, get that first win, start developing some confidence and momentum. But when I watch Spencer play, he's got all the traits. He's got some moxie. He plays with some swagger, kind of chip on his shoulder. The guys seem to like him and play hard around him and for him. He can make all the throws, can make plays with his legs. He's not afraid to take off and run and kind of lower his head to go get the first down. So for all those reasons, I think we have to be patient with him and recognize that, man, it's going to happen, and hopefully it happens soon.
Here's the giant challenge this weekend for Spencer Rattler, okay? You're going on the road to Seattle, as we've talked about, historically a tough place to play. That defensive front from Seattle is arguably, certainly in the conversation of the best in the league. You've got a young and banged-up offensive line. Trevor Penning maybe making his first start in a new spot. You've got a second-year right tackle with a bad knee and a bad back. You've got a rookie left tackle, and you got Cesar Ruiz, who stinks, period. That's not a great formula. And then you look at what Rattler has been on the road. Now, granted, it's his first road start this year, but Spencer Rattler started on the road 3 times a year ago. At the Chargers, the Saints lost 26-8. That day, and that was October the 27th. Rattler was 12 of 24 for a $156, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 3 times. His QBR that day was 25. All right, now that was his first road start. He also started on Monday Night Football at Green Bay, and the Saints got shut out, 34-0. That was hideous. He was 15 of 30, again, 50% on the number, 153 yards, no touchdowns and a pick, a QBR of 16.5. So again, he was 12 of 24 at the Chargers. He was 15 of 30 at Green Bay. I mean, right on the number. It was 156 yards at the Chargers, 153 yards at the Packers, no touchdowns in either, a pick against Green Bay. And then he started the regular season finale at Tampa, which was a 27-19 loss. And he was 26 of 42 for 240, threw a touchdown, no picks, and had a QBR of 53.9. The point is, he's made 3 road starts, and 2 of them were objectively very bad. And the one at Tampa, they were close, but the offense still never really got going, but he had to throw it 42 times in that game. You're hoping for a little more balance in the offense on Sunday. I just don't know that I think on the road in this environment against that defensive front is where we should realistically be thinking Spencer Rattler's going to get his first career win. But some interesting comments there from Drew Brees about how it sort of maps out there with him, with some of the size and the athletic traits and things like that. So Spencer Rattler still seeking that first win, and they'll have to break the seal eventually. See, maybe they break through this weekend. Tough environment there on the road at Seattle.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.